Hacking has the potential of providing grave and broad impacts, threatening finances, power grids, and privacy. Today in the show, we'll talk about an attack on Gmail that you need to be concerned about. Also, we'll share some commonly used passwords and the technological advancements that scientists are worried about that can lead to man's doom. Hi there, this is Marcelo Sugdeo. Thanks for joining us on Whirlwind Radio. Google's Gmail service is a service that is used by over 1 billion users around the world. If you have an account, a Gmail account, here is something that you need to be aware of. A few days ago, hackers made the news again with a phishing attack that is stealing login information of users of Gmail. What I find really disturbing about this attack is that even seasoned tech users, experts in the tech field, are being fooled into providing their emails and passwords to hackers. In this latest attack, hackers created a login page for Gmail that looks like the authentic Gmail login page that you normally see when you try to log into Gmail. The way they've pulled this off is that a hacker sends an email from a name of one of your contacts. So on seeing this, you automatically think that this is a valid email from someone you know. Now, on opening that email, there is an attachment that looks normal. It has a name that you can relate to. But by trying to open that attachment, a new tab opens to the fake Gmail login page. And here you're asked to sign in to view the attachment. By entering your email and password, you are literally giving your login credentials over to the hacker and thus compromising your account. This attack was discovered by Mark Monder, CEO of WordFence. He wrote in his blog post that after your account is compromised, the attacker also has full access to all your emails, including those that you've sent and received. And at that point, they can even download everything. So they will then use your contacts to send an email to them, pretending that it's from you. So your contacts, on seeing an email from you, will of course want to open it and then enter their login to download the attachment. The cycle continues. So the impact from this can be far-reaching. Now, it does not end there. After gaining control of your email address, they could also compromise other services that you use with the same password, even getting to your other email accounts through the reset mechanism. In response to this attack, Google said that they are aware of this issue and that they will continue to strengthen their defenses. And they recommend that users who don't have the two-step verification set up, that they can go ahead and activate that for their protection. If you don't have a two-step verification that is set up by Google, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and do so, and we'll place a link in the description below. If you're wondering how this process works, it's very easy to set up. Just follow the instructions, and after you've set it up, whenever you're entering your password to sign into Google, you'll be asked for a code to complete that login process, which will be sent to you by text or voice call or even through your Google mobile app. Now, without this code, you cannot access your account. The good thing is, if someone is trying to log into your account, they will need that code to get in. Of course, the code will be in your possession because you will receive a text on your phone. And on seeing that text from Google with a verbiage like your Google verification code is, you will immediately know that someone was trying to access your account. And of course, if it was not you, then you should immediately change your password. Other ways to keep safe online are just ensure that you don't click links or provide personal information without first verifying the page that you're on. Also check that the protocol and host name have the right look to it. For example, there should be nothing before HTTPS other than the green lock symbol. In this attack that was done against Gmail, the link used was data.text/html, HTTPS. It should not be that way. It should be HTTPS and the rest. Also confirm that the sender's email matches the sender's name, because sometimes they can use the name but the email will not match. And lastly, check links by hovering over to see if it matches the description of that link. Despite being warned many times by security experts to set strong passwords, people are still using easy and guessable passwords for their online lives. In 2016, a year that we've seen a huge amount of cyber attacks, it is still baffling to experts to see people use passwords like 123456, QWERTY, or 111111 during the course of last year. According to Keeper, a password manager software, in 2016, they sifted through 10 million passwords from data breaches that happened during the year, and they found that 50%, that is 1 out of every 2 people, use the top 25 most common passwords. So 50% of people share 25 common passwords, and almost 1 in 5 of all users use 123456 as their protective code. The list for 2016 is more concerning than the list that was released in 2015, which showed that the most common passwords in 2015 were Star Wars, monkey, and football. And that tells me that most of us are using and setting passwords based on what things are trending at that time. And that is, of course, is a no-no. Keeper is saying that given the large number of people that are still using common passwords, despite dozens of high-profile data breaches, the bigger responsibility should lie with the website owners, that they need to enforce some basic password complexity policies so as to guard against the acceptance of simple passwords. Now, some of the most common passwords that were used in 2016 are, as I've said, 123456. The word password was used as password. 123, 123, 123, 321, 1Q, 2W, 3E, 4R. And that, of course, is following the first layer of numbers on your keyboard and the first row of letters. And some people use Google as well as their password. And then some use the last line of keys for letters, which is ZXCVBN. Now, aside from all of these choices, researchers are saying that people often base their passwords on personal information, such as their names, ages, and even birthdays. Now, if you're guilty of this, I am pleading with you. Please change your password by using a variety of numbers, letters, symbols, upper and lower cases in your passwords. And don't use a string of numbers or letters on your keyboard. I know for most of us, it's hard to set strong passwords because they're very hard to remember. But I know a few of my friends use a website. It's called correcthorsebatterystable.net. We'll place that link below. By going to this website, you'll see that it gives you the options of selecting if you want to use a minimum number of words or the length in terms of characters. And also, you can just generate a password and you can keep hitting that button until you find a password that you can relate to or something that you will remember quite easily. It's 2.5 minutes to midnight. No, that is not the time right now. It is the time, though, on the Doomsday Clock. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists has moved the Doomsday Clock ahead by 30 seconds, taking the world to 2.5 minutes to midnight. This is the first time that it was moved by 30 seconds since it was first used in 1947 as a means to measure how close we are to destroying ourselves. There are a few factors that weighed heavily in making this decision to push the clock closer to midnight, mainly climate change and the talk about more nuclear weapons. But there is another concern as well. It's technological. It's in the cyber and artificial intelligence fields. Here's a clip from Lawrence Krauss, theoretical physicist who chairs the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, explaining how technology is being viewed as a concern in moving the hand on the Doomsday Clock. Roll clip 1.
Now, in addition to the factors that have long driven the clock, at least since I've been chair, namely nuclear weapons and climate change, the Bulletin continues to monitor the possible existential threats arriving from new emerging technologies. And over the past year, two areas in particular have begun to stand out: cyber technology and biotechnology. In December, U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that Russia had intervened in the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign to help Donald Trump in ways that highlight the vulnerability of critical information systems in cyberspace. Information monocultures, fake news, and the hacking and release of politically sensitive emails may have had an impact on the perceived legitimacy of the electoral process in the United States. Hacking is not new, but the question of whether the fabric of democracy may be imperiled by reducing faith in both the integrity of elections and in the very information on which an informed public can base their voting becomes suspect. It is at this level that cyber technology begins to represent a deeper global threat. Such attacks on the democratic process, however, represent just one near-term threat associated with the modern world's increased reliance on the Internet and information technology. In the longer term, there are also causes for concern. Sophisticated hacking, whether by private groups or governmental entities, may have the potential to create grave and broad impacts, threatening national or international financial activities, national electronic power grids and plants, including nuclear power plants, and the personal freedoms that are based on the privacy of individuals at the core of democracy. Autonomous intelligent systems are evolving at a rapid pace, as the introduction of self-driving vehicles demonstrates. While these do offer great opportunities, they also present possible threats. From economic threats, as a greater and greater fraction of the workforce may be replaced by machine learning systems, to the more immediate danger that military systems may come to rely more heavily on such systems and could result in inadvertent or malicious aggressive actions. In this sense, there's an intimate relation between our inappropriate reliance on nuclear arsenals and the need to maintain command and control in these systems. Lastly, on the biotechnology front, new CRISPR technology that allows precise DNA manipulation also holds out great hope for curing disease, but makes the ability to engage in malicious activities potentially much more accessible to groups and governments that don't have sophisticated biological laboratory infrastructures. Technological innovation is occurring at a speed that challenges society's ability to keep pace, even as many citizens lose faith in the institutions upon which they must rely to make scientific innovation work for them rather than against them.
The advancement of technology is opening up more threats to us, as Lawrence pointed out. Sophisticated hacking has the potential of providing grave and broad impacts that can threaten finances, power grids, and privacy. I can't help but think about a large-scale cyber attack on a power grid and the consequences of it. Stores are closed, no access to food and basic commodities, phone services down, the internet is gone, hospitals are operating on generators but rapidly losing or running out of fuel, garbage is rotten in the streets, clean water is scarce or not even running anymore, transit is not working, planes can't fly, trains can't run, and gas stations can't pump fuel anymore. I can go on and on and on, but I'm sure you get the picture. This is not a nightmare that you see on television. This can actually happen. That is why these scientists are concerned about the threat of a large-scale hacking. And then there's the other aspect of autonomous technology and machine learning. Now think about that. Think about a hack on this, on artificial intelligence, where robots and machines turn on us. They come against us. In one word to describe it, Frankenstein. We are creating a Frankenstein monster that can come after us. And this is what the scientists are really concerned about. They are concerned that this can bring us to that point, to the doom of man, to the end of man. So as we can see, the threats are indeed very real that we are facing from cyber and also from AI. And these are the things that are really causing great worries for experts, and it is pushing us closer and closer to doomsday. Thanks for joining me today. And now, please head on over to your Gmail account and change that password from 123456 to something that is more difficult to hack. From all of us here at Whirlwind Radio, this is Marcelo Sugdeo saying stay safe in the technology whirlwind.